Assalamualaikum children. So we are continuing with the lesson subject verb agreement itself in your grammar book, right? I taught you all regarding subject verb agreement. I taught you all I think the first two rules. Okay, this is the first one you can see here. And then the second one is this: when two or more subjects are joined by or nor. These two rules we saw that last the previous session. So today we are going to talk about the third rule, right? When indefinite pronoun is a kind of a pronoun. Now at the end, right? These are the examples for indefinite pronouns, right? These are some examples for indefinite pronouns. Anybody, everyone, nobody, somebody, everybody, no anyone, no one, little less. All those are indefinite pronouns. So if these indefinite pronouns come as a subject of a sentence, right? You have to put singular verb, right? Like for example, see the sentences given here. Everyone is looking forward to it. Someone is at the door. So you can see everyone in the first sentence, everyone, the subject everyone is an indefinite pronoun. So the verb is singular, right? This is the third rule. Now moving on to the fourth one. Nouns that look plural in form but are singular in meaning will take a singular verb, right? Now there are some nouns, right, which look singular, like maybe because they have an s at the end. Some people misunderstand those words to be plural, sorry, not singular, plural, right? But they are actually singular words. Now I have given some examples in pink color below. Gymnastics. Gymnastics is a sport. It's not a plural verb, it's a singular noun. It's not a plural noun, it's a singular noun. Just because of the s at the end of the verb, some people misunderstand that for a plural. But that is a singular noun and they take a singular verb. Gymnastics is, mathematics is, noodles was, physics was, right? This is the fourth rule. Now moving on to the fifth one. You all have to listen to this carefully. Words like some, any, all, most, etc. may take a singular or plural verb depending on their use in the sentence, right? That is, they take a singular verb when they refer to one person. Now, like words like some, any, all, if they come as a subject of the sentence, that means they're talking about the quantity. Some of the sugar, some of the cheese, all of the cheese, some of the news. Like that, they're talking about a part of something, amount of a noun. So if they come as a subject of a sentence, it'll vary. Singular, plural verb, it'll vary. That means now, for example, if they are talking about a quantity of one thing or a part of something, now for example I'll take some of the news, in like the first example I have given is some of the news. You all know news, even though they look like plural but they are singular, right? So they are talking about one part. Some of the news means some of the, like, news is a singular verb, so there the verb is singular, right? Suppose you get a plural verb like some of the neighbors, some of the teachers. Teachers is more than one person. So the verb must be plural. Some of the teachers were, some of the teachers are, some of the teachers write. No S. Because teachers is plural. Now, if you get uncountable nouns, like some of the sugars, you all know what uncountable nouns are, right? Honey, rice, sugar, coffee, cheese, all those are uncountable nouns. So, if you get uncountable nouns with the word some and all of the cheese, some of the sugar, that means the verb must be singular, right? This is the fifth rule. Sixth one is, right, if two subjects together express one single idea, the verb will be in the singular. Now don't confuse this rule for the first one. I told you if there are two subjects that are joined by and, the verb will be plural. This is different. Now, mostly if you take the food items, mostly, okay. Now, if you take bread and jam, right? You're talking about one food. You say that is your bread and jam is my favorite food. You don't say favorite foods. Rice and curry is my favorite food. You don't say favorite foods, because you're talking, even though you have two subjects, in when you're talking you express that as one meaning. One food, we are talking about one particular food. Rice and curry you eat together, right? Bread and jam you eat together, so they give only one meaning. Together they give one meaning. Now, if these two subjects give two different meanings, right? Like this given here, I have given example for that only, for you all to easily identify. Now, sometimes you all won't know whether these two subjects are giving one meaning or two different meanings. You all face that difficulty. Sometimes if they're talking about two different meanings, two different subjects, the will be added before the second subject sometimes, right? If they're talking about two different meanings, the word the article the will be added before the second subject. So you just need to watch for that only, right? This is the sixth one. Now the seventh rule, that is when collective nouns act as the uh, subject. Okay, like but now can say the collective nouns are flock, pride, pack, team, what else, crowd, army, right? Bunch, bouquet. Like that, there are several collective nouns, a group of nouns. When you want to talk about a group. Similarly, in the example sentences I have given here, orchestra, right, is a collective noun. Orchestra means, so what is meant by orchestra? Orchestra means, children, a group of musicians, right? A group of musicians. Now in musicians mean the one who plays a piano, flute, a singer, a guitarist, the one who plays the violin, the one who plays the drum. All of them included are what you call an orchestra, a group of musicians. Here we are going to see how a collective nouns take a singular verb according to the singular or plural verb according to the use in the sentence. Now in this first one, right, in this first sentence, children, orchestra is sensational tonight. This is singular verb, right? Remember that. Just a second. This is, wait, okay, this is a singular verb. Is a singular verb. In this first sentence, it is a singular verb. Why the singular verb is used? Because you're talking about, you're describing the performance that group of musicians gave that night. Orchestra is sensational tonight. Sensational means they gave an amazing performance. They gave amazing music, a performance, right? So you're not talking about each and every member. You're talking about the whole you're talking about the whole team, the whole group as one whole team, one whole group. Talking about the orchestra, the whole orchestra as one whole group, one whole group. You're not saying that just because the singer sang nicely only they gave an amazing performance. No, everyone's efforts. The one who plays the violin, guitar, drums, everyone put their efforts. So you refer to the whole orchestra as one whole group. One whole group. That's why you use the singular verb. In the second sentence, right, the orchestra were asked to introduce themselves. Here, soon after you complete a performance, you give a performance. And now, for example, let's take a Sri Lankan match, right? Cricket match. If our Sri Lankan match cricket team won, now they try to interview the members of the cricket team. All together, they won't try to interview everyone together, right? One by one only they will answer the questions. If you want to interview, your questions will be answered one by one only. If just imagine if the whole team try to answer at one time, no. So each and every member, so they are talking about every member, each and every member, each individual member. So each individual, if you count the individual members in a cricket team, there are about 11. So that's why they have used a plural verb. Similarly, in the orchestra also something like that. Orchestra, the people in that orchestra, the group of people in the orchestra, musicians, right? Each and every member of the team was, first of all, now first if the singer comes and introduce himself, second the pianist will come and introduced, third the guitarist, like that. One by one, each and every member will come and introduce themselves, so they're talking about each and every member separately. So there, that's why you use a plural verb, right? The plural verb, remember that. This is the like the last rule in your subject verb agreement, right? After you do this, please complete the B part, right? For now, just please complete the B part in your subject verb agreement chapter. You can turn and see. That's all for this lesson. These are the 7 rules, right?